What's up, everybody? It's your boy JR Lee, and I'm back for another special episode of the Fly on the Wall show. And today we got a special guest. I'm joined by the beautiful Ashley J. And Ashley, for the people who may not know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. My name is Ashley J, and I flip pallets. So I buy liquidated products and turn around and flip them for profit. And I've been doing this since 2019. And then in 2020, I started teaching people how to do it themselves. I was doing it, and then my brother was like, "You should show everybody else how to do it." So I kind of built this empire of people flipping products or flipping pallets full of liquidated products from major retailers like Amazon, Walmart, Target. They sometimes have to get rid of their products, or they could be returns, or they could be shelf pulls, overstock, things like that. And we buy those products from liquidated or liquidation warehouses, and we flip them. So we put them on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, social media, make your own website. It literally does not matter. We're just flipping the products.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so you said you got for the people who don't know, what exactly are liquidated items? Are those items that are no longer selling, overstock? What exactly is a liquidated item?
Yeah, so liquidation or the liquidated items have different categories. So it could be overstock, it could be shelf pulls, it could be customer returns, it could be salvage items or damaged items, but there's different reasons why people return items, right? So sometimes if you let's just say you order something on Amazon and you weren't supposed to spend that much money, you're like, let me send this back. So there are different reasons why people return items. So the liquidation, there's different categories of that.
Okay, cool. Now, you said you've been doing this since 2019. How exactly, what, how did you start getting into this? Like, what put this in your mind? You know, a lot of people are reselling items. What exactly put it into your mind? Like, let me try this thing here.
Well, actually, I was broke, and my brother knew I was broke, and he called me. He was like, "You know what? You want to help me flip these computers?" And I'm like, "I guess. Like, I don't know. I need some money, so yes, like, let's do it."
What kind of
So
computers were they? You remember?
yeah, so there were Apple computers, but they were desktops. And this was 2019, and we went on this website called govdeals.com. It's any government entity that needs to get rid of their items. So let's just say a school, it was a school specifically, but it can be schools, police stations, or anything like that. The school had got new computers or they got funding for new computers. So they were getting rid of their old computers. So they still work, Apple products, they don't have to be the exact year in order to work. So his girlfriend at the time went out there, picked up all the computers, loaded them into a truck, brought them to my house. And my brother was like, okay, so he has the social media like presence at the time. He
Right.
was like, I'm gonna market, advertise it and stuff like that. You make the website. So he was just telling people, hey, we got these computers for sale. So he paid less than $100 for them, and we turned around and sold them for like 300 to 350. That's what they were worth
For each computer or all computers?
for each computer.
Okay.
So you're buying it at a discounted rate, and you're turning around and you're selling it to other people. So we made a website called iMac Masters, and we were selling the computers on the website. So you would just go on our website, click the link in the bio, and purchase the computer. I was in charge of packaging the computer, shipping it out, and stuff like that. But and I worked at every warehouse in the world, so I know I was packaging it right. But the post office and UPS, they were damaging our product so much so that they would send us an email like, hey, we accidentally damaged your product. Here's the insurance form, fill this out so you can do your claim and stuff like that. So we got this idea, like, you know what? So me and him kind of get into it because he's like, you're not doing it. I'm like, no. Okay. It's not me. So and we got to the point where like, forget it. Let's just put the rest on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace and meet up with people locally.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And we sold the rest of those computers. So that's what,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That's I want to get into that. So first of all, you got the computers for $100 and you sold them back for $300,
I think it was
right?
less than 100. I think it was like 70.
That's not bad, but that's still good profit, right? And so now, what did you do with that profit? Did you go spend it on whatever? You said you were broke at the time. Did you go spend it on
Oh no, I was
private?
just I was spending money living my life. Like I had two kids at the time. I wasn't working, so I needed that money to like, that
Yeah,
wasn't
private.
that wasn't the thing that made me like change my life. I
No, for
literally
sure.
doing it to like make money. And then a few months later, my cousin was at a warehouse, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? And he was at a liquidation warehouse in LA. I didn't put two and two together that it was the same concept. Because when he went to the warehouse, it was just all types of products. I mean, like kitchen goods, patio furniture, like it was just a warehouse full of items. So I'm like, what is that? So he's like, I'm gonna take you the next time I go. So the next time he went, I went to LA with him, and I just see pallets full of products. I mean, indoor grills, heaters, anything you can find in a store, you can find at a liquidation warehouse. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, mm-mm. And he was like, why not? And I was like, first of all, we just came into this warehouse. All of these products, it just felt illegal. I don't know. It felt illegal to me. So I was like, I'm not
Like
doing
it
it.
fell off a truck.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? So eventually he was like, no, you're going to get a pallet. So he helped me get my very first pallet, had hoverboards on there. And this was early 2020. So I brought everything back to my mom's house because I had moved back in with my mom. And back in California, we brought everything. I put it in the garage, and she was actually my first customer. So I sold her a grill, an indoor grill. And I'm like, look, on Walmart, it's $30. I'm gonna sell it to you for like, it was like 20 or whatever the case may be. And I put everything on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, met up with people mutual or at a local location, and I flipped that $490 into like $1,200. And I just kept flipping.
Wow. So quick question. Like, so on this pallet is one pallet, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not just one type of item. You have a bunch of different type of items that you can sell.
Mm-hmm. So I had hoverboards, I had fans, I had indoor grills, I had heaters, I had so many just little things. And it was a customer return pallet, but
Yeah.
I had 9 hoverboards on there, and 7 of them worked, so 2 of them did not. So I just threw those away, and I was still able to profit. So there are going to be times where you might get 1 or 2 or 3 broken items, but most of the time there's so many items on that pallet that you're able to still profit.
Wow. And so you didn't need like any type of special license and nothing like that. You were just able to go to the warehouse and like,
Yeah.
what's that process like?
Yeah, most times you don't. They will charge you a sales tax if you don't have
Okay.
your seller's license or whatever, but it's only like $50. So if you want to get that, you can, but it's not a requirement in order via trading, specifically in LA. That's the one or the one I was going to back then, via trading in LA. You don't need you don't have to have it, but you can save your $50 or whatever. But you can just go in there, just sign up. They assign you a person that will help you find what you're looking for and things like that. So they're pretty customer friendly, and they help you out a lot because they want to see you win. Because if you win, if you're making money, you're going to come back. You know what I mean? And they've been in business for 20 years. So a lot of people think flipping pallets or the liquidation industry is new, and it's not. They just celebrated 20 years of being in business. So
Wow. And so I wanna talk about this. So like early on, you were doing OfferUp, you was doing Facebook Marketplace, so you was actually meeting up with people. You weren't nervous at all, like meeting up with random people online and selling them stuff face to face. Did you go by
um
yourself?
yeah, it just depends. So I tell people to meet at mutual locations, like in front of Walmart. I've met somebody in front of a police station before. Like, first of all, you kind of see how their conversation is going. And if it's kind of weird, I'm like, no. But I meet at mutual locations in front of Walmart, at Starbucks, McDonald's, things like that. Because if you're at a mutual location, most of the time, people are kind of scared to do anything crazy. So
For sure, for sure, for sure. And I want to talk about this. I know earlier on you said you tried it because you were quote unquote broke back then. Can you paint a picture like what was broke? What was broke to you? Like what did that look like?
yeah, living check to check, or at that time, I actually wasn't even working because I was working. Well, I will actually no. When I started doing the pallets, I was living with my kid's dad, and he was working, right? So I was a stay-at-home mom, and then my brother had hired me for this job to do websites. So I was doing websites. I think I was doing like $75 per website, and I was playing catch up. Right. So with that money, I was playing catch up, and then I started, whatever. So I had bad money management. We was living check to check, and it was not nice at all.
Then you said everything changed in 2020. You learned about flipping pallets. Your brother said, "Yo, you should show other people how to do this." When did you get your first success like I know you said you did your first pallet, you went from 400, I think you said, to 1,200 flipping it. Like, when did you know, okay, I should show other people how to do this thing?
Yeah, so I started doing pallets consistently, and my brother was like, show other people how to do it. And I'm like, but I already knew he was making money like with courses and showing people how to make money, but it just didn't register in my brain like I can do it too.
Why
Because
you
I'm
think that was?
I'm naturally a shy person. He's very outgoing, and and I'm just naturally a shy person. And I'm just like, I didn't have a big social media presence at all. Like I was just showing my kids and my life. Like, you know what I mean? He was teaching people how to make money and do these things, but like I really wasn't there yet mentally. You know what I mean? Like he's been on this money thing for the last 10 years, and I just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So he
See
was
your
like,
older brother?
yeah, he's my older brother. Um, Shout out to Chris Johnson. Let me just say
Shout
that.
out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. For
But
sure.
but yeah, so he was like, you should show other people how to do it. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So I just kept saying yeah, but then I procrastinated. He told me to do that back in maybe January, February. I didn't put the course out until April 9, 2020. That's when my life changed. And I remember it to this day. So what happened was I was doing DoorDash. So I'm doing all these different things because I had moved back to Arizona. I'm like, I need to co-parent back. We have to figure out this co-parenting situation. I was doing DoorDash. I stopped doing the websites because that business went out of business. So I'm doing DoorDash. I'm flipping pallets. I'm doing this to stay afloat, right? So I'm making money, but I don't have a full-time job. That's why I tell people not to quit their jobs
Yeah.
because you know what I mean? Like you need money to invest into your business or whatever the case may be.
And to pay
So
your bills.
yeah. So April 9th, I had a little apartment. I saved up what I could to get me an apartment. My kids were asleep on the bed, and I went into the closet and I made a PowerPoint. I didn't know what I was doing. I just made a PowerPoint, and then I went on Zoom and I pressed record, and I recorded my voice over it, and I put it on, uploaded to Gumroad, so people were able to purchase, and I put the link in my bio. The first day I put out the course, I made $200. The very next day I made $1,200. So once I made that $1,200 in one day from not leaving my house, my life changed.
I gotta ask you a question. The first day you made 200, you said?
Mm-hmm.
How long, I used to do DoorDash from time to time. How long did it take you to make $200 doing DoorDash?
Yeah, like probably a week. Like
A
I
week?
don't know. Yeah, like because I wasn't consistent. It probably take me like,
Yeah.
well, actually, no. Hold on, not a week. Hold on. DoorDash. I'm trying to think how much I was making. No, because we were trying to get $100 days. So probably
How
like
long
three.
did it take you to do $100 a day? How about that?
Yeah, it took me a while. So like we
Yeah.
would get to like $80 because me and my other brother would have like a challenge, like, oh, I made $80 today or whatever the case may be. So it'd take me a few days, probably not a week, but like 3 days, 2.5, 3 days to make 200. But when I made it, not leaving my house and showing other people, because initially it was just like, all right, so I show people how to do this. Like, are they even going to be interested? Because I was at the age where people were graduating from college. I dropped out of college. I was having 2 kids. My relationship failed. Like, I didn't feel like showing other people. You know what I mean? I didn't know people would be interested. But in 2020, people lost their jobs. You know what I mean? Like they were going through it. So I didn't realize people will start sending me videos of them flipping pallets or results. Sometimes not even videos, just a message. Hey, like I lost my job and I started flipping pallets and now I'm able to stay above waters and stuff like that. So those life-changing stories became like, I was like, oh wait, like it didn't register for me that I was going to change people's lives and stuff like that. So
Wow, I think that's powerful. So, and now you go on. I know you said earlier you're shy, but now I see you going on live like every single day.
yeah. Yeah. I used to always drink to go on live. I used to think I had to drink to go on live, but I was like, that was just in my mind. But when you're consistent with something, getting on live every single day. I'm not, back in 2020, I was going live 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And I can't guarantee that now, but I try to do at least once a day. But it's really all in your mind, and you get used to talking and stuff like that. So I don't call myself shy anymore. Like it is what it is now.
Absolutely, absolutely. You say you used to drink to go on live? You
Yeah,
wasn't nervous that you was going
I
like,
was like,
what did
let's
the
take
drinking
a
do?
shot.
Take a
Listen,
shot.
yeah, I'll take a shot and then I'll get on live and then it'll help me talk and sell my
Yeah,
courses and help other people. You know what I mean? But
that's
now
what I do.
I don't even drink anymore. So
Absolutely. Now, how did you feel? Like, I know you spoke earlier about just a lot of people were sending their results to you. How did you feel? Like, forget making your first $10,000. How did you feel when people were saying like, "Yo, I did this. I made $500. I made $1,000. I made $10,000." Like, how did that feel getting that first testimonial, that first social proof?
yeah, it felt crazy because I wasn't expecting. I don't know why, like because initially when I put out the content, I was just showing like I was on the website and I'm like, look, you can flip. I was basically talking in theory. Like I
Yeah,
had my videos too, like what I was doing, but then when I started showing, I'm like, I'm on the website, I'm showing, okay, if you sell it for this price, you can do blah, 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 blah. So then when I first got my result, I'm like, damn, I didn't think that people were gonna send me like I didn't know people were gonna like take to it or whatever. So when I
yeah,
first got those results, I'm like, oh, like I gotta keep going. You know what I mean? Like there's more people to help. And my brother will always preach to me like there's more people you can reach on the internet than you can reach in person. So keep going.
yeah.
Um, so just having his guidance and like, getting those results just made me want to keep going. And it just felt so good because somebody told me that she was in a shelter. They allowed her to flip pallets and now she was able to save up to get her first apartment. So when you get those type of results and those type of like,
Yeah.
oh man, it just makes you feel so good. And it's not just about the money, it's about the impact. You know what I mean? Because I could tell you I made money off of this, but those results, I wouldn't be able to do this 3 years later if I wasn't getting results. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to still sell the same course. Obviously I updated, but I'm saying like I wouldn't be able to still be in business and doing this for three
It
years
wasn't working for other people.
if it wasn't for other people's results. If it did not work, if they weren't sending me results, because the results sell the course. People want to see other people doing it. I could sit up here and tell you, oh yeah, I make money doing this all day long. But when they see other people doing it and sending in their results, it's like, oh, okay, this is not just her saying it, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Now that's powerful, man. And I just want to say, like, I know just earlier you shout out your brother, shout out to Chris Johnson. It sounded like, a lot of his advice, a lot of his coaching, his experiences he was able to give to you. And that's what you call a mentor, right? He was able to mentor you early on. How important do you think mentorship is for you as well as anybody's journey, whether it's in life or entrepreneurship?
I think mentorship is important because sometimes people save you from mistakes that you can make. So there's certain things he's been through and he's gonna warn me about it. And if I don't take his advice, it always ends up happening. And it's like, if you have a mentor in your life, they probably went through something before. They can probably see something you can't see. They've been in this longer than you. They've been doing it. They made the mistakes so that you don't have to make those same mistakes. You know what I mean? But having a mentor, keeping your mind right, you know what I mean? Focus on your mental health. That's what's going to keep you going and stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to talk about the environment real quick too. Uh, I actually was able to see you at InvestFest a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to InvestFest, shout out to Todd. And
Mm-hmm.
InvestFest was an environment of over 20,000 people, entrepreneurs, business owners. It was a beautiful thing to see. How was your experience? And I want to talk about what is the environment like for you? Like how do you stay motivated?
uh motivation comes and goes, so I don't always feel motivated, but what I do like to do is stay consistent, just like you told me that you see me on live, right, every single day. And that's how you don't have to think about it, right? So if I know every single day I got to get up and I got to make this happen, I'm just going to do it so that I don't have to think about it. Because once you get out of that routine of like, there was a point where I was out of the routine, I wasn't going on live, I wasn't being consistent, then I need that motivation. But if you're doing it every single day, you don't need that motivation because it's a part of your routine. You know what I mean? You're not going to always, I don't feel like talking all the time. I don't feel like getting on live all the time. I don't feel like talking about pallets all the time. Like I have a whole other life going on with kids and you know what I mean? I don't want to do it. But if you train your mind, this is what you have to do. You don't need that motivation all the time, right? But other things are going to make you motivated. Like being at InvestFest made me get back into, it wasn't because I went to InvestFest not to hear, I didn't hear the speaker speak or anything like
Either, yeah.
yeah, like last year my brother was a speaker, so we went for that. But this year, my best friend is actually dating my brother, I mean my sister. So he asked me like, hey, do you want to
Let's go.
yeah. So he has a business, a watch business, and
What's the name
he
of the business?
line out watches. All right. So he was like, "Do you want to come help us?" And I'm like, I don't think, yeah. He's like, "Man, come on." So I went to help him sell his
That's
watches, but I didn't know like people were coming up to me talking about some, oh, like you helped me change my life and all of this stuff. So I'm just like, it just made me want to go harder because you see the impact out there. You see, I walked up to this girl, she's selling workout clothes, and she's like, "Oh, I started flipping pallets back in 2020. I already know who you are, and now I have my own business." You know what I mean? So it's like those type of stories, seeing people come up to you, recognizing you, and like, because I'm not like I said, I'm naturally a shy person, so I'm just sitting there behind the scenes, and people are like noticing me, and then this guy came up to me and was like, "Oh, I started my own warehouse," and those type of like things keep you motivated to want to go. You want to go harder. You know what I mean? You want to keep going because you know that you're impacting people.
absolutely, absolutely, man. I think that's dope. And with all of the success that you are having, I'm pretty sure you're not the same person that you were 3 years ago. I'm sure your mindset has changed a lot. It seems like it. You're not drinking before you go live anymore. Do you feel like I can speak for myself? The more I develop my mind, relationships that I had previously, we no longer on the same frequency, so we kind of fall off. We no longer keep contact. Has that happened to you? Do you feel like not really losing friends, but do you feel like certain relationships are no longer there anymore?
Yes and no. So I feel like you don't have to just drop your friends just because you're on something new. Because
For
again,
sure.
I told you like my brother's been on this for like 10 years, like
Yeah.
financial literacy and all this stuff. We were not on this. You know what I mean? We were just like,
Yeah.
"Man, how come you don't want to go have fun with us?" We couldn't understand it. So
Yeah.
I feel like, you might level up mentally, and your friends might not be there yet, right?
Yeah.
Some people it's yet, and some people they'll never get
Mm,
there. So sometimes it's like, okay, I know if I want to go have fun, I'm gonna go hang out with so and so because they're fun, right?
right.
If I want to talk business, I gotta get different types of friends. But sometimes it just depends, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can separate, I can go have fun with them, but that's it. Or sometimes you just really just gotta let them go. But I don't believe in just becoming successful and dissing all your friends or whatever the case may be, but that is going to happen. You know what I mean? They'll naturally drift away. If you're always talking about something and talking about getting ahead and they're not on that and they're not ready for it, they might come back around later on in life.
Absolutely. 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 And I watched a recent video of yours that you had on your YouTube, and I seen the tweet. I believe it was a few months ago, and I thought it was really dope. It talked about 10 things that you would tell your younger self, right? And I thought
Mhm.
a lot of those things that you wrote was really cool. Like of course, like money management, creating habits and discipline, as well as not having children out of wedlock.
Mhm.
What was your favorite three things that you would tell yourself if you're able to share it today?
My younger self,
Yeah, like, or if you
uh,
could give me three new things, but it was three dope things that you initially said. Was there anything specifically that you like was your top favorite? Like, yo, if I could tell myself just three of those 10 things, this is what it would be.
I would say find yourself early. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we go through school, like we go through regular school and we don't really know what we're doing. So then we go to college and we don't necessarily know what we want to do because we don't know ourselves. We know that we go to school every day. We might play a sport here and there, but we don't necessarily know like what our hobbies, our interests are, outside of sports, right? So find yourself early, do different activities, try different things, you know what I mean? So that you can push yourself in that direction. Also get you a high paying skill. I feel like a lot of times people want to get paid a lot and they don't have any skills, and you realize that's why you're not getting paid a lot. I worked at every warehouse possible. I worked at every call center possible. You know what I mean? I was complaining about, this or that. And when I was in college for 3 years. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know myself. I don't know. So I would say find yourself early, and then also get a routine, right, and stay disciplined. And it sounds so cliche, but it's so necessary. It's very necessary. So now my routine is, if I have my kids, we do 1 week on, 1 week off. If I do have my kids, I drop them off at school, go to the gym, do a workout class, and then come home and get on live. Those top three things, they're non-negotiables for me. And if you create your life like that, success will come. You know what I mean? Because you're working on and reading it 1 hour a day. So those are my three things. They're non-negotiables for me. So working out, making money, and reading, right? Those three things, everything else comes after that. So getting a routine is very important. And then the last thing is probably like the same, not having kids out of wedlock. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have kids and you're young and you got these feelings for somebody, but you have to pay attention to their habits and their, you know what I mean? Like all of those type of things. And you're too young, you don't even know yourself. And now you become a mother. And there's so many times where I'm like, damn, I wish I would have figured this out before I had kids so that, you know what I mean? Like your mindset is just different. So I would say those things and always learn, always keep learning. Don't ever feel like you know everything. There's always room for improvement.
Absolutely. No, that's beautiful and well said. What interest did you find for yourself?
You said what, insurance?
What interest? I know you said find
Oh,
yourself and find out what you like other than like sports and like drinking, all that good stuff. Like what was the interest that you created for yourself or that you learned? Like, man, this is what Ashley likes to do for fun. This is what Ashley likes, was it hiking? What was it?
yeah, like I love to be outdoors. Like I love being outdoors. We just went camping and stuff like that. I started doing Pilates and just different things like that, like different classes and painting and what is it called with the clay?
Like sculpting?
Something
That's
like that. No, that's not what
It'll
it
come
is.
to you. It'll come
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. But yeah, just finding yourself, and I love to swim. That's my favorite thing in the world to do, just to go swimming and stuff like that. So,
I don't know how to swim. I'm
oh my
Jamaican. I'm
God.
from Florida. My parents are Jamaican. I don't even know how to swim. It's embarrassing. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to, I'm gonna have to.
You have to learn.
Absolutely. It's life and death sometimes. Absolutely. That's what's up. That's what's up. And I'm not gonna keep you too much longer. One of the last questions that I want to ask you, Ashley, is a question that I like to ask all of my guests. And it's simply, what is your definition of success? And it doesn't have to be making money, of course. It could be happiness, it could be family, it could be freedom. What's your definition of success?
A peace of mind, right? So it's not just a peace of mind because you can have a peace of mind and then be broke. So I think it's a combination of all of it, right? So you need the financial freedom, right? But not only financial freedom, because some people have high paying jobs, but they don't have the time. So you need the financial freedom, right? You need the time freedom, right? So you can do the things that you want to do. You also need a peace of mind. So you need all three of those things. And then you need love and support from your friends and family. Those things will make you successful, right? Because I don't think one of them by itself is enough, right? But peace is so important. There was a point of my life where I was making money and then I bought my house and I just felt some type of way about that. And then I started a warehouse. I was just doing all of these things, right? All the success, but I did not have a peace of mind and I almost went crazy. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you stay level-headed with this. We're coming from being broke, not having anything to, changing your life in such a short period of time. It's a lot. So you have to find peace, and how you find peace is going to therapy and reading books and doing things that are good for your mind, eating healthier, meditation, all of those things. Like you need those too, right? It's not just about the money, it's not just about the success, it's not about none of that, right? It's about, you have to have a balance. I don't know if it's necessarily a balance, but you have to focus on all of it.
Mental health is everything. Self-care is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned, being broke a few times, not about just making money. Do you I have a question? I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people talk about. Do you feel like you can be a high income earner and still be broke?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
no mindset. Mm-hmm.
Mindset. Okay, cool. I just wanted to ask. And I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. That's all the questions I really have. I just wanted to tap in a little bit with your mindset. I reached out to you a while back. I wasn't able to get you. I had you in person. I'm like, no, I'm about to ask. Well, I'm definitely ask her. And we made it happen. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure. It was definitely a pleasure. I can't wait to put this up and break this up. And it was definitely a pleasure. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry about that. Sometimes when people
Okay.
ask me to do podcasts, it was just a point in my life where I just didn't feel like I was ready, because I'm like, sometimes I'll do some podcasts and then sometimes I'll be like, damn, am I really where I want to be before I just get on here and talk like I know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? So, and then there was another part where it was just like everybody's asking. I don't remember who I said yes to. I don't
Yeah,
know if
for sure.
I know.
For sure. Nah, I get it. I get it 100%. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you so much.